showing up for their final 4 games of the season and still being the #1 seed.
Okay. Which is a possibility.
Yes, but that's not going to happen.
But wait a minute.
He doesn't even need to be there.
Bringing this back up
and
to
he's still going to be the first guy.
You said the point. You said the point was to go out and win races, right?
Well, you don't have, but you don't have to. That's the thing about a championship. You don't have to go out there and win the races. You don't have to win. You can win a championship without winning a lot of races. You don't even need to win a race.
But the mindset that you have right now is the old NASCAR point system, which was you don't have to win every race, but you need to finish in the top 10, the top 5, and win a couple here and there in order to gain a championship.
Consistency is more important.
But what they're doing is they're taking out that like mediocrity. A guy like Matt Kenseth who goes out and finishes 5th or 6th every race is not that fun to watch. Who ends up with the cup at the end of the year? The guy that goes out and wins 3, 4, 5, 6 races and then has a 10-point lead because he won those 5 or 6 races through the regular season in the playoffs. That's his reward for seeking out those wins during the season. That's the point.
I'm okay with that.
You want guys to race for the win.
I'm okay with that, but the rule should be different where there shouldn't be this loophole where you don't even need to show up and you're still going to be first in the points. He doesn't even need to show up.
But because he was good and he already earned that, he's already under contract by his sponsor that demands him to race every race and do the best he can.
All he has to do is go out there, run 1 lap, and take 43rd, and just go home.
But he doesn't. Who does that? Who goes out and leads to lose?
I'm just saying he doesn't need to be there. Will he be there? Obviously, he's gonna race.
This is how gambling. This is how gambling refs get into basketball.
No, this is dumb. This rule. There should not be this loophole. You should have to be there every week. You should have to be.
But they're going to be.
Oh my God! Will you guys let that go? Honestly, I understand he's going to be there. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying the fact is that if you look at the mentality of this, he doesn't need to be there.
That's fine.
Because of the mentality.
I'm okay with that because you know what? What if someone
that's the way the points are.
That's okay though. You keep reiterating the same point.
It's not okay.
If he's that good and he's earned it, he doesn't have to show up. That's the simple facts of it.
It's kind of like.
But there shouldn't be that much like of a thing there where it's such a loophole that 4 or 5 races.
It's not a loophole. The guy was good. The guy was good.
You know how in football they get 1st-round buys and the wild card teams play? But well, this is sort of the same idea. You're getting a little bit of a breathing room.
Normally you don't get the
shows like yours drove Michael Vick to dog fighting.
No.
Oh, boo.
Whatever. Forget it.
He's walking away from this topic. Let's talk about Jose Offerman attacking the man with a bat. To stay on the theme of anger, Du Hast in the house today. Anyway, Jose Offerman is playing in the International League, or not the International League, but the Independent League, I believe it's called.
Atlantic League.
And all right, oh, you know a little about the league, all right, whatever. Anyway, last night he gets hit in the calf with a baseball after hitting a home run in the first inning. Comes up in the second, gets hit in the calf. Attacks the mound with a bat, swings at the pitcher 3 times. On one of his backswings, he knocked the catcher out. Guy had a concussion, and he broke the finger on the hand of one of the pitchers. This has got to be one of the most ludicrous things I've ever heard of. Everybody knows if you're going to attack the mound, you drop the bat. This is not Ninja Turtles. It's baseball, and if you want to fight somebody, and if you're going out there to prove manhood because you want to fight, don't bring a weapon. Ridiculous.
I don't know. The Atlantic League is notorious for picking up guys that have been kicked out of baseball. They've also had John Rocker play in that league. They've also had Carl Everett play in that league.
A lot of ex-players go there.
Yeah, and it's almost like the Slugfest League, where like when you get on base, you can throw the guy a punch. You know what I mean? It seems like that's the mentality over there, but it seems like that's what they're coming to. Over
I didn't see it, so I don't
know. No, there was no video. There's just a picture.
Just a couple of pictures of him.
It's that bad that even if there is video, they probably wouldn't show it. It's gotten that bad, but it's ludicrous.
It's weird.
Does anyone else have anything else that they would like to discuss before we get to emails? I know there's one big thing that happened yesterday that is going to come up, I think, in the email.
The only other thing that I can think of before we get to the emails is, has anyone noticed how so many things in sports right now have to do with the law and attorneys?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
The NHL. That's why hockey is looking so good right now.
Yeah, NHL is looking good now.
It's really weird. Like, it just seems like
Basketball
every sport is tied into, like, some kind of.
Have I not been saying it for
thing.
a good 6 to 7 years that sports are rigged?
He thinks he has this theory
Have
that it's
I-
somewhat.
If the sports were rigged, they would have never let the Patriots win those 3 Super Bowls.
That's why sports is rigged. I'll tell you
way.
about that later. I don't
way.
want to get into my theory here because
Now
it's not exactly appropriate.
No,
all the
now
way.
listen, I understand the year that they won.
But my theory is only looking stronger every time that that a referee that pleads guilty to betting on sports.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty ludicrous stuff in sports that makes me think that sometimes, but not enough to actually.
My theory is only coming more together.
the Tennessee Titans Music City Miracle that still baffles me to this day.
That actually, I actually was watching a special on the wackiest plays or whatever, and they actually show like a computer enhanced diagram of that play, and it's like it's less than like a quarter of an inch backwards, but you can actually see what a straight line is, and the ball does just ever so slightly go behind the line, and so technically it was a backwards toss.
Well, they won, so it doesn't matter.
Yes,
but they did lose the Super Bowl, so yeah. No.
Nah.
Yep. I always believed in that one, but anyway, should we go to the mailbag?
Let's go.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go to the mailbag. I tell you what, the fans, they don't hold back sometimes.
That's good.
I think we all get a little props and a little defeatist in here. I've taken out all the we like the shows or this and that's about the shows and kind of just got to the basic questions of the email here, just for the sake of argument. First one is, dear guys, you seem to have a lot of disdain for one another on the show, but I've seen you all hanging out together. Is the hate just for entertainment? Kylie in South Burlington. Now today, I think we already had a little hate.
Well, you can obviously tell that it's not just for show. Sometimes we really do disagree on things pretty strongly, but it doesn't mean that we don't like each other.
Kyle is so angry, I think, right now.
I'm pretty pissed.
We're going to have more conversation after the show.
I'm pretty honest. I'll be pretty honest. I'm pretty pissed about earlier, so I'm just, yeah.
I think what it is a miscommunication as far as we don't get what you're saying.
Yeah,
or we choose to ignore it.
Well, I try not to put it in the best. Sometimes I just can't put it in the best words to make it make the most sense. But you get what I'm getting at, and you understand what I'm saying.
The bottom line is, I don't think that we ever disagree or hate just for entertainment. I think it's more of like, even though we get along and we all like sports or love sports, we have different views on it, and that's just the way it is. And it just so happens that with the panel of 3, there's probably always going to be one guy that thinks the other way. So it kind of works out for us. Because we've done this show, the 75th show today, by the way.
Yeah,
75.
75. Wow.
And, in the course of all the shows, I've had a lot of different